Nau Mai, hoki mai to another episode of Sharpen Up. Our crew today, he hails from Waikato Taniwha, and he's too schmick to quick. Hates a lick of the ice cream. Sewing legend from Ngarua Waihi, Jordan! Iria no Ngāti Paru, he ran it straight maybe a little too much. Don't know which hat to wear in the NRL. He's a jack of all trades, master of kore, trying out to do outdo his brother, Api. For those who don't know, he was named Mr. Fix-It and back in his playing days. Now the only thing he's fixing is his gout. While trying to pop a fat belly flop, one of Wainui's favourite hohas, Piri, yeah! And your host, born and raised in our little sister country of Ahitereiria, dabbled in a bit of sports on her way, the rose between these hua thorns, Courtney!
Thank you, Penny. What an intro. You're a wordsmith, bro. Did you just come up with that off the top of your head?
Yeah, just, I'm into that kind of stuff,
No doubt about it.
Well, Jordan, it's great to have you because you were just flying up the motorway to make it here on time for our recording.
I just had to stop at Wendy's to make sure no Baconators were in danger. But we got it, whānau.
Well, speaking of that, the Waz, how good were they on the weekend? Did anyone see that coming? Because after the way they played in Vegas, I got to be honest, I didn't have much faith. Jordan?
Oh, always keep the faith. Coco and whānau out there. As a proud Warriors supporter, I always knew, there was no doubt.
Oh, none.
There was no doubt that they were going to be the red hot Manly Sea Eagles. I mean, early days still, but we'll take the dub.
Was anyone concerned, though, when Saab went down the sideline right in front of me, might I add, and he flew down there, and then Trebojevic scored that first try and opened up this? Because then I got really worried.
Yeah, first 2 minutes of the game, you're like, holy hecka, here we go, here comes the Waz. But, I was just really surprised by mainly the outside backs. I thought all the outside backs played really well. Touchaholic had a blind eye forward, and just glad we got the first game and first win at home.
Yeah, he had a great individual try, Touchaholic. Pausa, you were there. What were your thoughts on the game from the playing perspective, but also a fan in the stands?
I'll tell you what, it was a vibe. I've never been to a live game in a while. And so, it was awesome. Took my boy there to say that he could watch a live game, and it was awesome. But I was like Api said, like when they went down that right edge, scored that first try, I was like, oh, bro, here comes Vegas once more time. And then once they actually got themselves into the groove, like they started looking quite lethal, like going to the edges, had awesome options off those edges, and then sort of swinging back to the other edge. So it was an awesome experience to take my boy there.
And what did we think of the halves? There was a lot of chat about them after Vegas not doing enough, but then I thought Chanel Harris-Tavita and Luke Metcalf, they did well. They opened up the scoring for us, and then Luke Metcalf had a hand in almost every try.
Yeah, still early days. Getting their combinations right. I'm speaking for myself and experience.
You are playing this year, aren't you?
I mean,
down in the Waikato?
You got to actually go to training first, but we'll get there. I mean, I know the combinations pretty good. Still love to see, what else they've got up their sleeves as well. Probably not as many combinations as the Wendy's menu. Let me just put that out there. But looking forward to what mid-season's going to look like, and just the cohesion. That's a big word. Cohesion. And what that looks like. So I'm looking forward to it.
Just to add to that too, I was lucky enough to watch the New South Wales Cup boys, and you got a stacked New South Wales Cup side too, for the likes of Bunty Afua, Te Maire Martin's there, and he had a great game too. So I guess that helps too, being in that situation before, like just keeping the pressure on those two boys who have got the 6 and 7 jerseys. So I was really impressed by Te Maire Martin's game in New South Wales Cup too. So
now, Jordan, you keep mentioning Wendy's. There's a moment in the match. Pity, you're laughing already. You know what I'm going to bring up. The Warriors score, and just Tavanga who was a warrior. He wasn't very happy, was he, Pity? And he found a bucket of Wendy's burgers and started throwing them at his old teammates. Pity, did you see this when you were there?
I did see that, and I was wondering why the hell that bucket was sitting at the dead ball line.
Hard.
In the stands. Chances, free kai. Thank you very much, but I thought that was a pretty hard case. It was almost similar to when Bodie Barrett got dragged into the Hurricanes celebration.
Yes.
When Dane Cole scored that try and the boys dragged him in there to celebrate. Like, it was along those lines. It was a pretty hard case, to be honest. So I probably would have done the same thing because they're all my old teammates.
I might have just started eating one of the burgers, but that does lead to, does anyone have any stories where stuff like that has happened while you've been at sport or while you've been part of a game? Major blow-ups, anything like that?
I'm sure there would have been a few at Touch Nationals killed.
Well, actually, there was another one. Did anyone see that young Māori boy get choked by one of the, I think it was the New South Wales Cup players for Manly?
Yes.
So, I don't know. I'm a bit 50-50 on that. Like, I did see a TikTok come out last night and sort of saying, he doesn't think that player should get punished. But, he thinks he wasn't being disrespectful, but I don't know. Have you? What's your whakaaro about that, bro?
I'm a terrible viewer of sports. I am sledging and I am giving it to whoever the opposition is. I mean, I don't know. I saw the video and the bro's whakaaro, and he was actually not too bad. Like, he wasn't swearing or using foul language or. He was obviously passionate.
Yeah.
Unlike myself at games where I'm talking about people's appearances and. But I feel like there has to be a level of respect, right? And there's tikanga and everything, and we should always be mindful, even as supporters and viewers and fans. So it's cool that they felt like it was all good. Like the bro was pretty toe about it. He was playing. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. And we can also
I'll have one. We were in South Africa, in Cape Town, at Newlands Park, and we're not used to having people that close to you at the stadium, but the fans were literally sitting behind us and just giving it to us. And I'm thinking, holy hicka, what have I got myself into here? I'm in a foreign country. If they jump this fence, we're getting smoked.
Pity, what team is this for?
This is for the Hurricanes and the ABs. So it was pretty hostile environment. What I did enjoy was that the how close they were to the ground, like, because everywhere else you're like at least 40, 50 meters away from the field, and you can't hear much other than the boys, making calls and things like that. But yeah, that'll probably be one of the biggest ones for me was Newland Park, which is not being used anymore, which is sad. I've seen a video of it. I'm like, stink. I remember playing over there.
Does it happen in netball?
What's that?
Like just fans yelling and screaming?
I mean, they get, yes, and especially when you go and play over in Australia, they're quite close, so they really do give it to you. But I remember one time we played in Jamaica, and the netball court, we were literally caged in, and fans would climb up. They weren't trying to get to us or anything, but they were just trying to get the best view as possible. And so you just had a lot of fans just hanging up on the cages, just watching us play and just cheering on Jamaica.
Yeah. Actually, I got one more story. Speaking of fans, I was playing basketball one time in packed stadium, obviously, and I heard this one person just going at me because I was wearing number 12, and I could hear them, number 12, you're horrible. I went to shoot this 3-pointer, I got an air ball, and all I could hear was air ball. So I look up to the crowd, and I see my dad. Giving it to me. I'm like, kill dad. So definitely a resilience builder kind of situation in my whānau.
He was keeping you humble.
He definitely.
That reminds me of one. I was at an MMA event in Sydney, actually, out in Western Sydney, and one of the fighters was getting beaten quite horribly, but the ref did call it. But the fighter who had lost, his dad used to be a former kickboxing champion. So next thing, his dad's in there trying to fight the opposing team. Yeah, uncle, that's right. He was trying to help his son out, not like your papa, Jordan. But moving on to rugby, Pity, I'm going to go straight to you. Your Hurricanes just held on against the Highlanders.
What are you talking about? Just held on.
2018.
Oh, come on. Actually, just before we touch on that, can I just say, I don't know if everyone's seen it on TV, but before the game, before the Warriors come out, Tohu walked out, and it was a changing of the guards. I thought there was a pretty special moment, him with Ahoy, and obviously the two co-captains coming along and, doing a little mihi to him. And I thought it was a pretty cool little thing that they did in at halftime. I don't know if everyone's seen it on TV, but if you were live, fireworks were popping. Tohu and his whānau was standing out in the middle of the pitch. I thought that was a pretty cool little thing because I know it doesn't really happen too much for our celebrities or sports stars that they don't get the send off or that they deserve. So I thought that was a pretty touching moment for them to do that for Tohu.
No.
And then now that we're going back to the rugby side of it, tell you what, I was shitting myself. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, hi. How come?
No, it was a pretty tough game. The boys obviously left everything out there. I'll tell you what a good battle was Tavatava Nau Mai and Duplessis Karifi. Like over the ball, those two are pretty solid. Hard to move off the ball. It was pretty much a ding-dong battle between the two teams, but it was good to see that they actually tried to play the full 80 minutes. Like the Landers trying to give themselves an opportunity to get a penalty. Obviously, they had a crack at the droppy at the end, but just grateful that the boys managed to get the dub. But I don't know if they deserve to have a bye this week. It's not very good when your momentum's stopped by a bye and now you have to restart again. So I'm a bit worried.
So do we feel like the Hurricanes, they got a little bit of momentum, so you want them to keep going?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, look at the Highlanders. They just come off the bye. They've been playing pretty good. So it could potentially happen to the Hurricanes when they come back, So fingers crossed that it doesn't happen and the boys still keep their momentum.
Bro, talking about buys, back when you were playing, what did you do on a bye week?
I was in the Hinu Club, cuz, so there wasn't much time off, bro.
What do you mean?
So my first year or campaign of Super Rugby, they wanted me to maintain a certain weight, and so I pretty much couldn't skip buys. I had to actually work hard during that off week. So I was pretty much in the gym, doing cardio, anything to stay fit so that when it come to the game, to prep for the game, I was actually a lot fitter, or I was stable enough to continue what I started.
Mean.
Api, what's it like in league on the bye week?
I would always, because I was over in Aussie a lot, so I'd always try and come back to New Zealand for the bye weekend. So that was probably mainly coming back and spending some time with whānau. That would probably be the first thing I'd do at the start of the year, look at the draw, and then sort of pick up my bye week and sort of book my flights because, trying to save some pūtea. those cheap seats.
I want to come back to this Hinu Club, bro.
No Wendy's burgers in the Hinu Club.
Someone as myself who's experienced waistism as well for my weight as well. How do you go from Hinu Club to Gout Club, bro? Just for all our viewers out there, what's the tricks?
The secret.
It's called Stay Off the Seafood, cuz. And I think there's a few vegetables or fruit that you can't take so that the old flare doesn't start happening. I only know this because my mate Namir is the ambassador for arthritis, which is a form of the G out. What do you have to bring that up for? Come on.
Oh, sorry, we're back to the Copa. I mean, are the cans changed from the table? Like, they still at the bottom, or what's going on there?
they're
'Cause-
No, they're not. I had a look.
You had a look this week.
I did.
They've moved up a little. Two moments in the game, though, that stood out to me, or one of the players was Caleb Tangito, and just he went coast to coast, end to end. He's got an intercept, scored a try, and then another one. It was just really quick play, but I thought he was a standout player.
Yeah, mean. I'll be honest, I don't watch Think Teams, so I missed the game.
What about the clips that I sent? Anyone watch the clips?
No, I thought that Tangito played pretty mean. Like you said, like he went coast to coast on the intercept, and then his smart and quick thinking on the quick tap, kick it, then chased it hard, didn't get the bounce, and then next minute Dibro's backing up. I thought it was actually pretty quick thinking on his behalf, which then put us back under the pump.
Well, and both of those are when his side was down, so I think it's really good play from him, especially a younger player.
100%. Like, one thing that's buzzing me out about the rugby is like the schools for some reason been so close this year. Like they're all like 1-2 point games. Like, why is that, do you reckon, Pity? Is it? And they're quite entertaining games to watch. Like I've enjoyed watching the rugby this year. Do you have any whakaaro on that, bro? Why that is? Or
No, I reckon they're just finally getting that opportunity to express themselves a bit more. And like part of it is like defense systems are set in stone on how they want to defend. And so that gives you an opportunity to attack on those edges where most teams are making their gains. Just a little bit like the Warriors on the weekend, you know, same thing, play down on the edges, smoke it up the middle, use your big forwards and all that, and then once the opposition start biting, then you start using your backdoor plays and shifting it to the edge where the space is, and then bring it back to the middle. It's a bit like chess, bro. You know, you send your pawn out there, and then hello, you got your rook, your bishop, your knight, and your friggin' queen out there to do the mahi.
Oh, a chess master, hey, Pity.
I was struggling with those names.
I wouldn't know, so it sounds right to me. Another close game, Chiefs 32 over the Blues 31. Came down to a kick at the end. Jordan, do I even ask you, did you watch this? We're on a sports podcast.
Yeah, Dad's a Blues fan, so I had to get the full analysis from him, run down. We had cousins visit from Tāmaki, come down to Kirikiriro to watch the game. You know what? Someone who whakapapa's Waikato,
Right.
I despise the Chiefs. I really do.
Yeah, how come?
Look,
What do you mean?
So Counties Manuko, right?
Oh.
It's kind of where I kind of grew up. Still in Waikato, iwi, you know, Rohe. However,
We won't
you're
get
growing
into
up
that.
watching Jaina and Joelle, and then you see them playing for the Blues. You kind of gravitate north.
Oh.
So that's the you know the whakapapa of that whakaaro anyway.
true.
Well, hey, at least you've got a better connection than the Ngāti Pro East Coast. I mean, hello.
Yeah, it's your team, isn't it?
Hello.
I'm your team.
Yes, my team's at
The
the top
Chiefs.
of the table. I'm telling you, it's because of the connection we've added to the mana, brother.
Tell the truth, you didn't even watch the game, me breathe.
I did breathe.
No one's watching any of the sport on a sporting podcast. Wicked. But then I can ask all of you, because the Highlanders almost won with a drop kick, a drop goal. The Chiefs just won. The Blues missed the conversion. Are there any moments in games that it's come down to a kick or from netball, a shot, whatever it may be? Just those little moments?
Personally,
Yeah.
nah, not for me.
But you're a kicker.
I used to goal kick, yeah.
Yes.
But I've never really had a match winner times full time. No, I haven't had that opportunity. That you
Okay,
know of.
if you haven't had that opportunity, Kill, what goes through your head when you're kicking a goal? Like, is there like a process that you have, or like, are you the type of person to be like, if I miss this, we're freaking screwed? Or are you like, oh, well, if I miss it, shit happens?
Yeah. I just try and relax. Like that's the biggest thing I tried to do. And Darragh Halligan was one of our goal kicking coaches and
Stray dog.
yeah, and we'd always used to play this game at Warriors training where you'd have the black dot and you'd get 2 points for getting it between the black dot and the right post as a right foot kicker, and then 1 from the other half of the goal post, and then a miss left was a complete wipe, but missing right was fine as a right foot kicker. So yeah, that was something I used to always just picture before kicking, and is trying to get that that right post, hit that right goal post, and yeah, that was something I sort of worked on. What about you, bro?
Well, I was the type that didn't really give a shit if I missed. I just had that, oh, well, if you can't get it between the sticks, shit happens, you just got to get on with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you do get it between the sticks, oh, well, you're winning in life. But I mean, like, for me, I was lucky enough that I had a pretty mean kicking coach too. We had Mick Byrne, who used to be a AFL player. And I learnt from him how to kick goals. So I don't need to practice during the week. I've told this story so many times. So because of him, he's given me the tools to understand what a perfect kick feels like, sounds like, looks like, so that if it moves in a certain way, I know exactly what I've done wrong because he's showed me as a coach. And so, like, yeah, I've never practiced during the week. So for the World Cup, leading into Argentina, I didn't practice until like game day, and it grew.
Okay, bro.
Must be
Nah,
nice.
Smithy
Eh?
hated it because like the boys go and practice during the week, like all the other goal kickers, and I'd never go. I'd just go and practice on game day because I felt like it. I felt like I knew what I was doing. It's because of Mick, and so yeah, I was just fortunate enough. I had a pretty mean kicking coach that helped me out with the kicking style.
That's mean. Have you ever? I remember as a kid, and probably you too, Coco, on the netball court. Have you ever played that out though? That last 10 seconds of a game?
All the time.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even a shooter, and I'd practice shooting.
Like, I'm sure you would have done it right, like kicking or shooting a goal. But the thing for me is, I would be in that position, and I'd still miss. Like, it's just me out here. Oh,
Yeah.
but like you've probably done that, right? Played it in your head. You probably done that.
Yeah, I did, but it wasn't for rugby though. It was for league.
Bro, did you goal kick at Kura at TA?
Yeah, but I had they obviously preferred a few other goal kickers before they got to me, which I didn't care. Like, if I got the opportunity to kick goals, all good. If not, well. So I never took it that seriously, and just would wing it. But back then, I had a different kicking tee to what I did when I was professional. I had the old school, stand it straight up. Or if we didn't have a kicking tee, remember the old school mounds that they used to dig with the heel? Yeah, babe, that was me back in that ass. There was a few, actually. There was one rugby player that actually used to use sand in South Africa.
Yeah.
Pretorius. And I was like, bruv, that's old school as.
And you could kick it for like 50, 60 metres easily, eh, that fella?
Yeah, he could. Not me. Mine was about 6 meters. Oh.
We had a moment in one of the netball games when I played for Magic. We went and played over in Sydney, and it was goal for goal, semi-final. Whoever wins goes to the prelim. Whoever loses is out. And it's even, and we get the ball into our goal shooter, Jo Harton, who was the shooter for England at the time. So feed the ball to her. As she gets it, the defender on the other team is the defender for England. So they're opposing teammates internationally on the court for the Swifts and the Magic. And Sonia McCloma, she loves to yappa yappa as a defender. So we feed the ball to Jo. As Jo goes to turn, all you hear is Sonia McCloma going, she'll miss. Guys, don't worry. I know her. She will miss. And she's defending going, she'll miss. And so we've got thousands of Sydney fans all against us. All you can hear on court is Sonia going, she'll miss, guys. Don't worry, everyone. She'll miss. I'm standing on the circle going, oh, my God, Jo, please don't miss this. And then her nickname is the Ice Queen. And like ice, she just sinks it. And then Sonia goes, okay, she got it. And we go on to win the semi, knock them out and go through the prelim. But that's probably a moment that I remember just thinking, I wouldn't want to be a goal shooter.
The banter.
Yeah, damn.
That's inside knowledge that, don't worry, guys, she'll miss it.
And it made me think, will she? No, she won't. And then because they know each other so well, Son used to be the captain for England, and she's literally going, she will miss. But yeah, just crazy times when that kind of stuff happens. I want to move on to rugby Aupiki. Our wahine, they all played on the weekend, but the Blues and Chiefs Manawa, Pity, they just look so good because the Blues won convincingly and so did Chiefs Manawa.
I think that with the Blues team, I feel like they're finally hitting their straps, and with that continuity, playing consistent footy and good footy too, probably helps. You know, they've got a couple of main coaches, and Willie Walker and the King Carlos. You know, in terms of the attack side of it, but yeah, I think the best, like the other week when we talked about it, like the matchups are always huge, especially in the women's game. It doesn't matter which team's playing. I think every position's actually a good battle. So what I'd like to know is if these girls do a bit of homework on their opposition, like the person that they're playing against, because I know we used to do it, except for my first year, obviously quite young, didn't understand the whole do your homework on the opposition, do homework on what they're good at doing, how you can try and stop them. But opposition wise, like I played George Gregan my first year, and like I hated him as a rugby player, but he's an athlete, like, you know, he's one of the great nines. And he was literally telling me when I was playing for the Hurricanes to come off the bench, telling everyone what I was doing, and I would literally do it. And I'm like, bro, are you a Jedi or something? Like, bro, what's going on here? So it'd be good to know if the Wahine actually do the same thing, you know, do a bit of homework on the opposite to see how they can try and beat them one-on-one or what they can do better than their opposition.
We definitely did in netball. Jordan, I want to know if you've done your homework on taking on Caitlin, because you laid down the whittle.
This might be the perfect opportunity here, Whānau, to clarify that I was not implying in any way that I had some wheels on me.
Oh, I thought you were.
Or that I'm faster than Caitlin.
Oh, I thought you were.
Absolutely not. So, Caitlin, if you do watch this, just apologies for my team. I was not implying that I would beat you in a race. I just wanted to kind of, you know, exemplify, I don't know if that's a word, but I'm using it, exemplify how fast she actually is.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you, Courtney.
No, I just wanted to check because there was Braxton Sorensen McGee. She had a great try where she just took on the opposition, went in and away. So just made me think about your whittle to Caitlin, even Ruby.
Who else you reckon that they'll pick then if you... If we're doing a team effort here.
Oh, is this it? Are we going to do it? Are we going to do it?
Well, he did try and rope us into it.
A sharpen up team relay. Is that us?
Oh, marathon, whatever.
Oh.
It's just...
Oh, bro.
Oh, take on another podcast, perhaps, or maybe not athletes.
If it's a pie eating or a burger throwing competition, maybe we could do that instead, I reckon.
Throw some Wendy's burgers.
Yeah. Papa Manu, maybe? Papa Manu.
That's a good one.
Go fishing.
What was that?
Go fishing.
Oh, fishing.
Let's go.
But have you been catching, Cool?
Nah.
I thought you haven't been catching anything lately.
The weather's not playing ball at the moment, so been a bit dry lately.
That will lead me actually, to our next topic. Just switching gears a little, we saw the new Black Ferns Māori and the Māori All Black supporter ball came out this week, and there's been a lot of kōrero e pāniki about that. And Heaha o Whakaaro, I'd like to just open it up and your thoughts on this subject.
Have you seen the ball, Piri?
Yep. Well, which one?
The Gilbert.
The Gilbert.
No, I've seen. Oh, but I mean, which one? Like, cause there's the Māori one, obviously, which pretty much just resembles what they've done in the past. Like when I was there, all the designs that they've had for the team, by the looks of it, they've pretty much put it on the ball. And to be fair, Kill, like everything that we've done with the Māori team, like posters and anything around the team has always been a step above everyone else's designs and stuff like that. Like, if I had a Māori's jersey now, the current one, I wouldn't be giving that one away because it's pretty mean. Like I got mine in 2005, and there wasn't any designs like that. You know, the koru and all that. It's pretty mean. But yeah, I thought those were pretty sharp actually. The old the balls that they come up with the designs. I want to know if Essex will hook us up and we'll make our own designs for Sharpen Up.
Shout out Essex.
Yeah, we
Give us a chance so we can do a boot similar to Ari's. ASAP.
What about you, Brave? Have you seen it?
Yeah, well, I mean,
online?
the first thing that I think of is because I'm a league fan, like two is. So first of all, stink onion, and then the and then the second part was like, I don't know. I always feel like there should be some consultation, whether that's with the designers, the toy, the toy mahi, or whether they're using some local iwi, like some pūrako attached to it as well, something of, I don't know, that signifies like not only our culture but that whole like when I talk to whānau from overseas, right, or visitors from overseas, and they come here. And they go, oh, do you play rugby? And I'm like, oh, yeah, like pretty much the whole country does, kia ora. But then the very next thing they talk about is the haka. And so like that, well, I don't know what the word is, but that kind of relationship between Māori culture and rugby is like real strong, and the representation overseas. So I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking around like as long as people are consulted the right way, whether that's our kaumātua or our tohunga or whoever that may be, then pai, all good. But I'm not too sure if that actually happened. So I don't know the inside scoops. I don't know what happened. I wasn't at the table, but be cool to I guess find out more. Yeah.
And I guess the korero, right, Api, is that there wasn't much consultation.
Yeah, from what I've seen out on Facebook world in the last couple of days, yeah, and I think that's a big thing is being tokenistic, and that's a big kaupapa that I'm really passionate about too, and especially as a former athlete, and as I've researched with a lot of our former athletes in recent years. A lot of them are yearning for our Māori culture. So that's one of the biggest drivers that gets our Māori athletes in particular to perform. And I just think these are big organisations. Rugby's a massive organisation, and you get the best specialists, you get the best physio, nutritionists, psychiatrists, whatever. And if our Māori athletes are saying that the biggest thing they're wanting is to learn more about their culture, then access those people, access the right ringatoi, access the right advisors, so that you get the best out of your athlete. So that's one thing that I still haven't quite figured out why we haven't, some people still go down back doors trying to, to appropriate our culture. So that's my whakaro, and I'll leave that there for a wānanga, but I think it's important that we don't just, go through that tokenistic way of expressing our culture, because it's definitely not what we want as Māori too.
Yeah, and I think that was the biggest discussion coming out of it this week when everyone did see the ball, was that maybe the right avenues weren't taken. But yeah, good wānanga about that.
Yeah. Do you know where like especially sports uniforms and stuff that are really cool Māori tournaments?
Yes.
And I'm not so up the bro here, but Ngāti Porou jerseys are pretty snazzy and schmick. The brothers are looking sharp on the field, but some of the sports unis out there that I've seen from different iwi and hapu, like, they're mean as. And I'm out there trying to hustle, like, gee, cuz, what size is that one?
Yeah.
Are you playing next year? Oh, I wish I had one of those jerseys. Like some of the jerseys I've seen, even the touch tourneys and stuff. Like, see some cool unis out there.
One of them, Petty, for me, was you were at the Tag Youth Oceania tournament this weekend, and I mean, there were some beautiful uniforms there. So what was that competition like, and what was it about? A lot of our tamariki and our rangatahi were playing in that competition?
Yeah, it was actually a pretty cool tournament. I've been 3 or 4 times now supporting my tamariki, and it was actually a beautiful weekend. But the uniforms, they're pretty mean. I don't know, like, part of it, like when I see some of the designs and all that, they look mean. But then I'm like, okay, so where did, like the boys were talking about, where did you get the design from? Because there was Aotearoa New Zealand, Aotearoa Māori's team, American Samoa, Kukiairani, Tonga, Tahiti, and then like New Zealand Barbarians. New Zealand Barbarians had a pretty mean one, and they had Māori designs all over it. So I'm like, where do you get all these designs from? Because like, are you, like the boy said, are you consulting people so that you can think, or you just doing the old, I was going to copy this off the internet. She should be all right.
Not ChatGPT.
Right?
For the design.
So it's like, but I think like the best part is my kids really like some of the uniforms, so they want to go and buy, like try and buy different nations' shorts. So it's pretty. It was a mean weekend. My son's team didn't do that well, but it was good for him to have that experience that his sisters have had. And then we had a Kōtiro team that went undefeated and won the whole tournament for their grade, which was pretty cool. So it was all in all, I thought it was a good weekend, just not quite the results that I thought my son's team wanted. But you live and you learn, and if you don't, don't play the sport.
But great to see, I think, all our tamariki all playing in that. And then, so that was up in Tāmaki, but then down in Ōtautahi. Api, you were playing in the Touch Masters. How was that, bro?
Masters 30 plus. Yeah, I played for Manawatu in Ōtautahi. Third year, third silver medal.
You told us last week, didn't you? You're coming back with the gold.
I was manifesting whānau last week. I was like, I'm going to be sitting in this sharpen up room
with the gold medal around you.
And I just left my silver in the bag because it just, I don't know, I just can't do with the second place. It's sort of,
Did you do what the English team did? Did you just put it in your pocket, don't put it over your neck, Pete?
Nah, I actually did. A couple of the boys did do that though. I was like, nah, that's playing up. Let's put it on. But I got a bit of a confession to.
Here we go.
So, big stadium at Ōtautahi, and just before the final, we're about to run out, and one of the boys taps me on the shoulder and he goes, bro, can you do us a karakia? And I was like, oh, yeah, all good. Everyone's feeling the buzz, so Theria says. So I start my karakia and I'm powering through it, and then I go, there's a part in the karakia where you freestyle and you say the name of the team. And then for some reason, I go, ki tēnei kapa o Ngāti Porou.
Sorry, who are you playing for?
I'm playing for Manawatu. Right? So I've said the wrong team. And then in my head, I'm like trying to wrap up the karakia, but I'm like, I wonder if they know this. So I opened my eye, and straight across me was my whanaunga nehe, and I could see him grinning on his face. And then I'm like, oh, no, they didn't notice. So I'm trying to pull it back and say rangi tāne and Manawatu. And then by the end of it, I'm like, oh, yeah. So, first time I've ever done that, and I had to apologise to my team because I said if we lose this game, it's because of that karakia. And we got absolutely smoked.
What was the score, bro?
11-5.
Oh, great.
You had the opposition and the ancestors again.
But then I was trying to think, bro, like we were in Ngaitahu territory, so that's Porairangi's younger brother, so I'm trying to pull a story in my head.
In the middle of the cutting.
Bro. But I was hoping the boys wouldn't, surely they wouldn't notice I said Ngāti Porou.
And did they? Did you ask?
They all noticed, and I got punished for it, so that's the real reason why we didn't win.
Did you speak to Nehe after to see if...
Yeah, so, and like when I get embarrassed, I get the giggles, like that's like my thing, and he was like, "You seen me grinning, eh?" And I was like, as soon as I seen him grinning, I just lost it. But yeah, we talked about it after, and he said maybe a sign for maybe play under Ngāti Porou next year. But yeah, no, it was an awesome kaupapa. What I love about it, like I love touch, like that's my first love in sport. Like, I love touch, and seeing like it goes right up to 65s, like seeing our pakeke just keeping fit, legends such as Peter Walters, he's still out there doing it, and he still looks good to go. So yeah, that's and some of our aunties and the 45 women's and the community, the touch community. So I've got so much love and time for that sport. So I'll be playing for the next 30 years. Hopefully we can get our own team going.
Just make sure you don't do that. We won't give you the karakia, my bro.
I'm off karakia duty.
Did anyone hit you with a sharpen up?
No more Menita vibes for me or karakia duties. Yeah, I've been scrapped of that, mate.
That's the sharpen up moment of the week. Surely we don't have any footage of it, but we've got the Pūrākau
no
retold.
doubt the boys will comment in on it, but yeah.
I'd love to get Nehe's take on that one.
Actually, there'll be gangs. But with the tournament though, Api, like I know you spoke about Mr. Touch himself, Mr. Walters. Like, was there any other legends of touch that were running around? Because I know Galaxy's pretty stacked.
Yeah.
When they pull their team together, and there's like legend on top of legend with that, Ropu.
Oh, actually, bro, there's another bloody corridor to this.
Go on.
We always have like at Touch Nationals, you have like the opening ceremony where the two players and then I got put into this messenger group. There was probably like 80 people in this messenger group, and they're like, "Oh, hey, Wade Sharp, George Yonke named all these legends that were getting their awards." So they're like, Mike Daly was his name, one of our tuakana from Hatawhara. He sort of got a group together. Let's do a tika tonu for all these legends, and a lot of the refs. So there's about 12 of them got the Hall of Fame, and they're like, Sean Brown, they had all these people to kaya, and then got there on the day, and then everyone's like looking at me, start tika tonu, and there's only like a little small contingent of us, of the 80 people. But yeah, it was for, there was a few people there, like people like George Yonke, you'll know him from Wellington, been in and around the game for ages. One of, like, a lot of the refs, I think one of the refs has been reffing since 91. So it's a lot of time getting put into the sport. So, yeah. That was the biggest thing. Have you ever played, bro?
I have, bro, and I've found out real quick I'm a really big target. Easy as to touch.
Yeah. Petty, what about you? You would have jammed some touch?
Yeah, bro, like you, it was my first love. Right next to league. Like, I grew up getting bullet passes out on the wing from my uncles, and if I dropped it, I got the old get off and do some push-ups and get back on. And you learn pretty quick that if you didn't catch it, you weren't spending much time on the field. But yeah, I love playing touch. Can't do too much these days. I mean, I was in Papamoa. We have a barbers tourney that we host for Masters, and to see the likes of Mr. Touch himself there with the Galaxy boys, and I swear I was like I was fangirling on Peter Walters because I walked over. Oh, kia ora, legend. How are you? Well, I was like a little kid, bro. It was actually pretty cool to finally meet the legend himself. Obviously, George, I see George quite a bit around here. That runs the modules down here for the tamariki. But yeah, I loved touch when I was growing up. Used to try and act like I had the meanest whack practice in the backyard, thinking I was Remus Gentles, had my jump step. The only thing that was moving was my head like this, and then the body wasn't doing jack.
That was like
So
me.
yeah, bro, I loved it.
That was like me in netball. I'd go straight from touch training to netball training. And then I had a coach once say, the netball court's not big enough for your touch step. Leave it at the touch field. I was like, oh, but I'm losing the defenders though. So that was probably our sharpen up moment of the week, was Api's karakia.
Wait, hang on. Api, did you lead tickets tonu or not? Because you didn't say you did.
And I had to lead tickets.
That's it. I'm telling all your cousins from the coast, don't let him jump in any other teams. He's done you dirty from doing that.
Now,
That's haka.
That chops, bro.
another sharpen up moment for us as a whānau would be last week. We claimed Dylan Brown, who's not Māori. He grew up here. However, he's Samoan and Niuean. But I mean, we claimed him, didn't we?
Ah, why not?
Why not?
Yeah, hard. Oh, hang on. Didn't they migrate over on the same wakas? Well, whānau, mate.
Thank you.
I'm surprised Nazi Parao didn't claim him.
My karakia will.
Throw him in there. Throw him in
Just
there.
claim the whole Manawatu team.
Well, maybe that's a sharp as moment, but some sharp as moments that you noticed over the weekend. There was a Tigers try, a full team try. Brian To'o, I liked his try, but any sharpen up moments that you guys had to wrap up for the week?
Sharp, eh?
Probably my one would be Tuopiki's one. His individual try.
Yeah.
I think they tried to go over that right edge for a long ball. The man stepped a couple of people and then thought, you know what, I was going to run it straight, and ran straight through two defenders. Oh, that was pretty sharp.
I agree. That was a good one. Api, you got one?
Yeah, mine's probably not sport orientated. I tautoko you on that the recognition of Tohu Harris, bro. And for him, you know, finishing up his career, I think back to the bro, I spent a lot of time with him, played together in the under-15s, Central District side, played together in the junior Kiwis, and then got to spend a bit of time with him over the years. And yeah, and for the Warriors to get out and see that video of him coming out in the tunnel and just seeing how much that meant to the bro. Such a humble man. He would never ever want anything like that. And I thought that was a real sharp moment by the Warriors to do that for the bro Tohu. So yeah, mihi ana ki aia for being an awesome rangatira and a leader for a lot of our kids who will follow his footsteps.
And knowing Tohu for all this time, did you know back then that he was going to be that kind of player, that kind of leader?
Yeah. He was that height at 15. Straight up. Like, I remember seeing, he was like tall as at under 15s, you know, and but, you know, obviously he went to the Storm and got a lot of time in that environment, and yeah, but he's always been a quiet, humble, doesn't say much sort of, yeah, so whoever might be the Kazi Wairangi who sorted that out, but whoever sorted that out at the Wilds, that was a meke sharp moment.
Jordan, you got any sharp moments?
Oh, I'm just really happy to see my nieces playing netball. And
Nice.
shout outs to all the junior sports out there across the motu, and even over in Nahitarere, all our Māori whānau over there, just to see kids swinging in action in sports, getting involved, and shout outs to all the volunteers, coaches as well, and all the parents. So yeah, got some photos in our whānau group chat and seen my nieces carving up Sophia and Adriana doing their thing on the Gold Coast, and yeah, so really proud uncle moment, I suppose. Yeah.
Nice as. Right, that's us, whānau, for another week. Sharpen up. Keep.
I'll just do us a karakia. No, ketchup.